You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knocked out. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling. They were 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding, ding, ding. Saved by the bell. He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's going to just hammer him. And exactly that. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back. The world was shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. What happened? And they went to Buster Douglas and they asked Buster Douglas simply like, what happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to be Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. And he knocked Mike Tyson out simply because his why was greater than that punch. His why was greater than defeat. His why was greater than his trial and his tribulation. And I'm telling you, if you don't know what your why is, and your why isn't strong, you're going to get knocked out every single day.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Good morning, dreamers. Rise and shine. You already know we are coming with that championship mama mentality only. Super excited to go ahead and start the week. JoJo in the building. Johnny, it's good to see you. Cedric, let's go. So excited for today. What is here, what is here, what is to come. And as you can see, I've got a very deep topic coming in for today. We're going to be talking about the power of resilience. And I know I can feel it university right now. This is one that's going to be crucial for anybody that really wants to go ahead and take advantage and really max out life. Because here's the deal, right? So many are dealing with what I call emotional intelligence stress, right? Meaning a lot of us, we're having trouble being able to manage our emotions, dealing through these struggles, dealing through these challenges. So today, I want to go ahead and give out the 4 keys to go ahead and really master resilience. This is a training that we got from an absolutely phenomenal lady boss yesterday, Mina Moves, for those of you that don't know. So this is something that's been tried, tested, and proven. So let's go ahead and drop a little bit of gratitude down below before we get into today's training. We're going to be talking about the power of resilience and 4 ways to go ahead and develop our resilience. So before we get in, what is 1, 2, 3 things everybody's grateful for coming into today? Let me know, and we're going to go ahead and get started for today. How to gain resilience. Let's go. Game time. Here we go. Awesome family. Grateful to be live. So thankful to be on here with each and every single one of you, to be able to see and witness the journey, to be able to see the growth. Today is actually day 404, getting down the feeling, getting down the vision, writing a plan so those that pick it up can run with it. So grateful for the times that we're living in. There we go. IG's good to go. It's so amazing because inside of the group chats, I'm seeing events. I'm seeing you guys travel. I'm seeing the ka-chings. I'm seeing the withdrawals. I'm seeing people getting funded for their trading accounts. And a lot of it comes down to what we've been doing in the morning, right? Writing down the goals, setting intention, getting clear for the day. Even every Sunday, what we do every Sunday is so important. Planning out the week before it even happens. So everything that we're doing is leading into the individuals that we are destined to become. And I love to see it, right? This next 90 days, this is going to be a very serious sprint coming into the end of 2023. So resilience is going to be needed getting into this last quarter as we step into the 4th. So let's get into it. When we're talking about resilience, right? And I love how that this video that I played this morning kind of gave a little bit of a sneak peek, a little bit of a snippet on what resilience truly is, right? You see, when we're talking about the word resilience, when we take some time and we actually go and look it up, you're going to be able to see something that's pretty interesting, right? Here's what I mean by that. Resilience involves being able to bounce back from barriers that are in the way. And also, it's going to involve a serious, deep level of personal undevelopment, as our mentor likes to call it. Not personal development, personal undevelopment, right? Unlearning all of the things that we've been thought to be true for a lot of our lives. So as she broke down this training, it hit me so hard. I'm just like, how many of us are literally living through this right now? And we might think that the trial that we're going through, the lesson that's happening in our life, why is this always happening to me? Well, how about if we switch that perspective into right here? Watch this. Here's what she said last night. There is no life without hardship. In fact, a life without hardship would be heaven. Let that sink in and really think about that. There is no life without hardship. A life without hardship would be heaven. So think about this. As we start to level up, as we start to grow, the bigger the vision, the bigger the opposition. A lot of us have heard that term, what? New levels, new what? New D, right? New devils? Well, this is true, right? With more power comes more responsibility. So as I start to grow, as I start to level up, I started to understand that. You see, at the beginning, when people started to give me hate, I used to get so upset. I used to get so frustrated. But you know what I started to see? If we don't have any hate, if we don't have any opposition, most of the time we're not doing enough, right? In fact, when we start getting bold, when we start stepping out, putting ourselves out there, hate is a necessary part of the journey, right? People not believing you, having people tell you you're never going to be able to achieve these things. Tell me somebody who's great who didn't go through any of that. Tell me one person. Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey. You can give me your favorite celebrity, your favorite athlete, your favorite movie star, Leonardo DiCaprio. They all went through opposition. They all went through hate. In fact, Donald Trump, one of our previous presidents, the only way that he became president is he put himself out there enough so that half the world could hate him, talk about him, and guess what? They say any publicity is good publicity because guess what? It's getting your name out there. And as long as we're truthful, we're honest, and we're authentic, the real light is always going to shine through. That's why they say time either promotes or it exposes. It's either one or the other. So here's the next two pieces that she went on to talk about before she kind of dove into the 4 keys to really mastering and diving into resilience at a deeper level. Here's what she said. The road to resiliency, it also involves a little bit of emotional distress. Emotional distress. That sounds kind of uneasy. It's like, why would we want to feel any emotional distress? My mentor said something profound 2 days ago, and I'll never forget it. Here's what he said. You ready? This is why this made so much sense, and it's perfect timing. Here's what he said. Let's go. Manny in the building. Leisha, it's good to see you. He said, people don't change with logic. Nobody changes with logic. You see, real action takes place with emotion. Shane in the building. Talina, what's going on? He said, real change does not take place with logic. It takes place with emotion. You see, when we get to an emotional level that's deep enough, ready to change, that's when we'll make the change. This is why they say when the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change, then we'll change. When we finally get to that point where we're sick and tired, like me, I was living out of my car, 30K in debt. I'm literally eating McDonald's for breakfast. I'm eating peanut butter sandwiches. I'm showering in the LA Fitness. I could not live any more time like that. It got so emotional for me that I said, you know what? Whatever I have to do, I'm willing to make the shift. My family's struggling. I'm about to lose my sister to cancer. I need to make things happen right now. So when it comes to resiliency, you've got to really get to a point and realize whatever the problem, whatever the struggle is happening right now, there's a lesson that can be learned. There's a way that we can transmute that energy and streamline that to allow us to grow. I'll give you a perfect example. You ready? Perfect example. And you guys are going to be able to tell me the answer. When somebody's online and somebody's in a relationship and they get out of the relationship and they break up, what normally happens to those individuals? Yeah, they might have a little bit of crying time. Yeah, there might be a little bit of fussing. But what normally happens to that person's body? Pay attention. What normally happens to the person's body? Now they start hitting the gym. Now they start eating better. Now they start taking care of themselves. Why? Because they started to actually remember their worth. They started to actually remember who it is that they actually are. Spent so much time listening to somebody else's opinion, somebody else's negative thoughts. Now they finally went able to step into the highest version of themselves. But guess what? It took a little bit of emotional distress to allow them to go ahead and get to that point. I'll never forget it. One of my teachers in high school, literally, he was probably like 300 pounds. I'll never forget it. Monstrous guy, huge guy. And he ended up going through this relationship problem. They ended up breaking up. And in the next year, he literally lost 100 pounds. He wasn't hitting the gym. They were watching Netflix all the time. He was eating ice cream every night to go to bed. And now he started to go ahead and realize what's inside all along. So a lot of the times when it comes with real change, think about it. Anytime we've made most of the time a drastic shift in our life, it was an emotional decision. So let's go ahead and get into it. You ready? Here's the 4 keys to really go ahead and dive into resiliency. And she gave an acronym last night. She gave an acronym. Here's the 4 keys, and then here's the acronym. 4 pieces to go ahead and put resilience together, and then here's the other part, okay? Number 1 is going to be connection, okay? Connection with God. Connection with yourself. Remember, we spend so much time listening to other people's opinions. A lot of us, we struggle to take any time for ourselves. So number 1 is taking time for a connection with our creator, connection with ourselves. Number 2 is going to be wellness, right? Just like we just talked about, taking time to start taking care of our temple, drinking alkaline water, drinking alkaline liquids, eating whole foods, hitting the gym, getting some exercise in the morning. Okay, number 3 is going to be healthy thinking, right? There's a reason why we journal every day. There's a reason why we're sitting in gratitude, writing our 10 blessings, because the secret is the feeling. And if we wake up stressed out, if we wake up in the past, we're probably going to bring more about that into the future. So this is why there's a reason why we do all these things. And the 4th piece she talked about was meaning. Having a real meaning to life. In other words, Napoleon Hill talks about it in Think and Grow Rich, our DMP. Somebody write down our DMP. What does our DMP stand for? Our definite major purpose. You see, with all 4 of these things in line, now we're able to really gain some resiliency. So with the connection to God, guess what? We realize that no matter what happens in life, we have protection. We have somebody that's watching and guiding over us. Number 2, wellness, right? When we eat better, when we consume better foods, it's hard to run like a Ferrari, feeding ourselves dollar fuel. Think about that. It's hard to literally run like a Ferrari, consuming dollar fuel. So wellness, if we want to operate at an optimum level, it's going to take consuming the right nutrients. So many people today, they feel lazy, they feel tired, they get headaches a lot of the time. Most of it that comes down from a lack of dehydration, being dehydrated. That one thing alone, being hydrated, would save so many people so many different issues. If you don't believe me, go ahead and study Grant Cardone's guy, right? 10X system. He's going to tell you how important hydration is, okay? And the last part, meaning, right? Having a DMP. With a meaning in life, everything starts to change. So here's the acronym that she gave for today. You ready? It's called PABT. And this is how I'm going to end off the training, super short and sweet. Give me about 2 or 3 more minutes. But this is key. This is huge right here. So the P is going to stand for preparing, right? Just like we've all heard it. If we fail to plan, we what? We prepare to fail. So preparing, coming into these next 90-day sprint to end off 2023, what do we want the end of this year to look like? What do we want our finances? What do we want our bodies? What do we want our relationship with our creator to look like? And here's the deal. We can still do this evaluation. We can still get clarity, and we can still take action on these steps right here, right now. Number 2, the second piece to PABT for gaining resilience is going to be adjusting. The A is going to be adjusting to challenges. There's nobody you look at, there's nobody that we can see on social media that doesn't have some type of issue, that isn't growing in some way, some shape or form through some type of obstacle right now. So the question is, how are we going to be able to adjust to the challenges? If it happens to rain today, if we plan on going to the gym, just because it rains today, does that mean we're not going to go to the gym? Or are we going to adjust a little bit and still go make it happen? Maybe we might have to change our clothes, put on some rain clothes. Maybe we might have to grab an umbrella, but we're still going to go out and make it happen no matter what challenge comes in our way, right? Number 3, the B. The B stands for bouncing back. Bouncing back. You know, she gave the example last night. So many are exhausted. So many are putting in the late nights, maybe the early mornings. And you might be asking yourself, why am I putting in so much time? Am I even going to be able to get a reward back from this? And this is the shift of being an entrepreneur and actually being an employee. An employee, we get paid right away. But you see, as an entrepreneur, they call it the jet lag effect. Not everything happens right away. A lot of the time, it's going to have a 90-day jet lag. Think about it. Where we're sitting right now today is nothing but a compound effect of what we've done for the past 60 to 90 days. How we feel, how we're sitting, even how our body look. Our body doesn't look the way it looks because of what we did yesterday. It looks the way because of what the habits that we've had for the past 60, 90 days compounded, right? Whether we've started to gain 30 pounds, whether we've started to lose 30 pounds, either way, it depends on our habits that we've been able to go ahead and adopt, okay? And the last but not least is going to be thriving, P-A-B-T. The T is going to be thriving through difficulty, right? Any one of us can say, well, you have no idea how hard my story is. You have no idea everything that's going on in my life. And you're right. I don't know everything that's going on in your life. But you know what my mentor would tell me? You have a story. I have a story. We're either going to have two things. We're either going to have excuses or we're either going to have results. The person that gives excuses most of the time, they don't end up getting to results. So every one of us, we have our own cards that are dealt with. The difference is, how are we going to go ahead and deal with it? So I actually love this piece. I wasn't going to throw this in there, but I actually do. I want to put this in here for today. She gave us 3 questions, right, to go ahead and wrap up this training, to go ahead and really get conscious and aware of 3 different pieces to build resilience. You ready? Here's number 1. I'm going to skim through this because this is honestly really important. I don't want to let this slip by. Number 1, how good are we at positive self-talk and cognitive restructuring? And the way we can think about that is, as today goes by, let's pay attention. Let's pay attention to all of the times where this negative self-talk starts to creep up. You know, Adam talked to me yesterday. He's like, yo, D, yesterday I spent 2.5 hours inside of a float spa. Right? For those of you that don't know what that is, it's pretty much like this huge white egg that you get in, you sit in, and you actually float. But it's a sensory deprivation. So there's no sound. A lot of times there's no sound. There's no smell. The water is the same temperature as your body, so you can't even feel that you're floating there. And sometimes they might play an audio or a meditation. And he was telling me as I was laying there, and this happens to a lot of us when we meditate, right? Thoughts start coming in. We start thinking about negativity. We start compiling all of these thoughts that most of the time don't need to be taking up space. And he's like, yo, D, I started to think about these negative thoughts. My heart started to tense up. I started to get kind of nervous just laying there. And then I would take some time. And I would take a couple of deep breaths. And I would start to go ahead and set a new intention. I would start to get clear on what it is that I really want, get clear on what it is that I desire. And I was able to go ahead and change my thinking. I was able to go ahead and change my energy. And it got to a point where it seemed like time just flew by. And all of a sudden, 2.5 hours was done. And I was just thinking about it. This is such a great example, because how many of us go throughout life, and we all have it. We all have these negative thoughts that creep in, right? That devil that comes and sits on our shoulder and gives us this negative self-talk. But the real power is being able to go ahead and shut that voice down and start listening to the real voice. The angel's always here. We all have both of these voices. It just depends which one are we most dominant listening to. And the moment we can start to listen to this one, the positive one, that says we are enough, we are powerful, we are growing every day, that's where real willpower starts to really make a shift. So that's the first question. It's a real fight, but it's possible. Okay. Number 2, here's the second question that she asked last night. She said, how good are we at emotional stress management? How good are we at emotional stress management? And here's one of the biggest keys that she said. One of the biggest reasons why so many people are stressed out right now. You know why? Tony, what's going on? It's good to see you. Drew, I see you. Most people are stressed out, she said, because they're lazy. They don't have a schedule. They don't have rituals. They don't have a routine. They're waking up every day and they're winging it. They're late to all their appointments. They're late to all their sessions, and they're trying to rush to everything. And they wonder why they're stressed out all the time. She said, what would change if we got up early? If we had a schedule the whole day before? If we started getting maybe a little bit more sleep? If we started letting go of distractions? If every day we practice mindfulness breathing? If we began to starve the ego, we began to feed the soul, recognizing intense emotions and learning how to regulate them. Woo! This is such a key training right here. I hope you're taking notes on this. I got pages full of notes because I know if this is implemented, this can change the game right here, without a doubt. Here's the third question that she had. I'm going to wrap it up with this. Here's my last piece for you. Stick with me. You ready? What is our problem solving and decision making at? How good are we at problem solving and making decisions? She talked about flexibility and adaptability. Means accepting change and embracing uncertainty, and to change is needed. Say that one more time. Flexibility and adaptability means accepting change and embracing uncertainty and change as needed, right? Normalizing failing, she talked about. So many of us, most things we're going to fail at, right? Whether that be building a business, building online, there's going to be times that we fall, but it's never, you already know, it's never about how many times we fall, it's how many times we what? We go ahead and get back up. So to go ahead and end off today's training, here's what she said. There's a formula to resiliency. Set a goal, add optimism, follow through with resilience. So what is the goal coming into the end of the month? What is the goal maybe coming into this next month? What is the serious goal that we're looking to go ahead and achieve? Let's just start with even one right now. Set a goal, add optimism, and follow through with resilience. And she said there's one or two people that's going to go and end off 2023. You ready? I love this because it's so true. You're either going to be comfortable. Yes, there's a lot of people that's going to be comfortable coming in this last piece. But also, there's going to be individuals who are resilient. So my question to end off the training, you can probably get an idea. You can probably guess where we're going with this. If you want to get to our goals, if we're looking to go ahead and get to our dreams, if we're looking to go ahead and get to all of these amazing and phenomenal things that we write down all day, are we going to, which side do you think we're going to be able to go ahead and step into? Which side is going to allow us to go ahead and make that happen? Is it going to be comfortable, or is it going to be the resilient side? And go ahead and drop it down below. Let me know which side are you ready to go ahead and step into, because this is going to determine where we're going. I know what it's like to feel comfortable. Don't want to be there anymore. In fact, there's nothing comfortable about being comfortable. Being comfortable is miserable because we know we can do more. We know we have a lot left in the tank. We know there's so much more to achieve. And a lot of times it starts with making a decision. So dreamers, I'm right there with you to go ahead and jump on the resilient train, going and wrapping up the year. And the last piece, yesterday's championships don't win today's games, right? Even for myself, it doesn't matter how many amazing, abundant things that we did in the past. Those championships are not going to win today's game. So that just goes to show every one of us, we get to show up every day. We get to continuously grow, and we get to go ahead and make in the Irish. Here's what my mentor says: make the worst of make the best of today's the worst of our tomorrows. Think about that. What if the best day today was the worst of our tomorrow? Talk about continuously growing and leveling up, right? All about perspective. So dreamers, with that being said, that's my training for everybody. If you got a little bit of value from today, go ahead and drop some 4s down below. Smash that like button. If nobody told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm so excited to see the growth. I see everything going on. Cedric's throwing events over there. JoJo's making moves. Johnny's making things happen. Shane and Talina are being absolute miracle workers on that side. I love to see it. Manny getting to it. Drew, so proud to see the growth, brother. I love you guys. Let's have a phenomenal rest of the week. Fresh start to the week. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Let's go out and turn these dreams into reality. It's already done. Let's get to work.